Okay, here's a little bit of Matt's near-death experience. Matt, do you want to talk about this or not?
Yeah, I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually not a joke. That scene that you just watched, I guess I was told by the director.
Tell him the truth now.
I was told to just ride down the hill. And
tell him the funny part.
Oh, you mean the no brakes part?
Yeah.
Oh. Well.
No brakes. It gets him every time.
But the thing was, I knew there was no brakes, and I said, well, "Can I just keep my foot like up against the rim, up against the tire, so I could control how fast I was going?" And I think Jeff was just so excited that he just wanted to make it real, I guess. And so
yeah.
I was like, "Okay, you're the director." And
I can't believe you did it.
So I started going down the hill, no brakes.
And the idea, look at both of your feet are on the pedals.
Yeah, I would.
It was fucking scary.
I would say that I probably started going, like 25, 30 miles per hour.
Well,
I'm
might be fast.
I'm just trying to be realistic. And I went directly into a guardrail.
The guardrail right there. The back wheel.
Yeah, and fortunately, I just out of fear, I held on to the handlebars, and
I'm laughing because it's scary.
Yeah, that probably saved my life, because if I didn't, I would have gone into the ground and maybe snapped my neck.
I think you would have flown right into the apartments that were right next to it.
Maybe, I don't know, but so my body just flipped, and I landed on my right thigh. And
God, it was so...
Yeah,
it was one of those moments in life, Dick Cheney shoots his friend with a gun. I probably felt like Dick Cheney at that point in time.
I would
I almost killed my friend.
But
it's awful.
I remember I had to, right after that, I had to go to the bathroom. I mean, I couldn't even walk. I had to go to the bathroom. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
And
I saved these Polaroids.
I seriously got queasy, and I thought I was going to faint when I saw how bad my leg was. Oh, God.
Yeah. You remember? You probably don't remember this. This is a Polaroid.
Yeah.
It looked like...
But you can't tell the dimension there, but I mean, it
stuck out about an inch.
It looked like I was had the leg of a football player, and I'm tiny.
It was so terrible. And then you ended up finishing the rest of the shoot.
Yeah, I hobbled around, and I actually walked up the tower.
And this was for the promotional...
That was me. That was me walking up the tower.
I know. And then falling off onto the mattress.
Yeah.
I gave you the MVP for the shoot, by the way. Yeah. Amazing. You're here to...
At least...
And I told John Millman to go only go a certain, pan to pan. If he had gone another couple inches, we would have grabbed it.
That would have been wonderful to have that on.
I know. Isn't it weird? Like... You say that it's like it would have been wonderful to see it just because it's so insane that it happened.
Yeah.
It looked like a game of perfection. Well, you just popped out of.
Yeah.
I mean, everything in the basket flew. And remember down, we had two interns or two PAs were down at the bottom of the hill.
Mm.
It was like if anything happens, you're down there. So they literally saw. They heard me say action. You took off. Flew into the guardrail, almost died, and that was the end of them. Like, we didn't see them again.
That's right, they didn't come back.
They were like, if this is filmmaking, I don't want to be part of this.
Yeah, that was, I mean, in all seriousness, that was probably the worst accident I ever had in my life, and yeah.
I mean, I will admit that to this day, I still shudder when I think about it. There are times when I'm driving down the road or just walking around, and I think about what would have happened if it was one of those accidents where you really did. I mean, you could have been paralyzed, if you didn't die. If you flew into the apartment and your neck snapped and your
but you
and
know
your
what?
body just crashed to the ground, and you know, we couldn't move you. That would have been terrifying.
Your enthusiasm for film to put me in such jeopardy, and my
anyone out there who
love for you to actually do it.
Well, you did worship me.
I just wanted to be a movie star.
Well, if this is what it takes. He hasn't asked me to sleep with him, so. Oh, it was just terrifying. I remember calling.
I won't do that again.
I was thinking Seamus Lives Part 2.
Just one more take, Matt.
On the Fringe.
Get up,
again.
Get up, Matt, and one more take. I can't move.
It was so frightening. And John Millman was on the camera, and he didn't even want to look up from the camera.
He said it sounded like a car accident, and that is the best way to describe it.
What do you remember?
I remember going so fast that I couldn't even jump off of the tricycle to, like, you know, fall into the grass and roll.
Right.
I was going too fast to push myself away from that chunk of metal, the tricycle that I was riding. So there's nothing I could do. I was absolutely out of control. That's the only way to describe it. And
it was,
and then all of a sudden the whole path turns, and I went directly into the gate.
It happened so quickly when
yeah.
I mean, the rear tire on that bike hooked onto this post, an inanimate object, and literally the bike stopped you went from 35 miles an hour, or however fast you were going, to 0, and everything flew, and I saw your body flip up into the air. It's amazing that you only walked away with a giant bruise on your thigh. If you you didn't have any broken bones, you were limping. Does that hurt to this day?
No, it's totally fine. But that thing on my leg was what my friend that I played tennis with, when she got into her motorcycle accident, that's what she looked like in the hospital when she was in critical care. When she was
that bruise
strapped up,
man,
from a motorcycle accident.
So you
were
80
miles per hour.
Yeah,
you know, that was the same kind of wound that I had.
I mean, I'm just so grateful, and I remember getting on the phone with Beck. I was like, Matt just had an accident. You know, I told him to go down the hill.
He's dead.
Oh, that would be terrible. I mean, I think we laugh at these things because it's not.
What can you do about it?
It never happened. I mean, if you had died or gotten into it, you know, if you were paralyzed, I don't know what.
I don't know if you get a refund on that airplane ticket. Actually, you probably could if I had.
That's
died.
right, because you were living in L.A. and you.
Well, I had a round trip ticket. I was just.
Could you came back?
Could you get your?
Right.
Well, no. You bought me a round trip ticket, and I flew there, and so I still had to go back to Los Angeles because that was the trailer.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You flew in.
So whether you probably could get money back if I had died.
Well, if you put it that way,
I guess it wasn't that bad.
Oh, it was just. I remember being on the phone, and then Mike McGlone.
But you got
and Paul
the shot
Webb.
though.
Well, it got the shot for the trailer, yeah. And I always wanted to include it in the movie. But
everybody's just looking at it like, oh, that's so cool.
Wow, you went down the hill. That's
right.
awesome.
That's
Seamus is
neat.
so cool.
He sure likes to ride that bike.
Oh man!
But I rode it pretty well. I stayed onto the path.
Oh, dude! And at one point, do you remember me screaming?
Cut!
No. I was like,
jump, man,
jump!
Right.
Like, stop! Put your foot. But I didn't know what to say, and at that point, it was so. There were probably not even a second. I mean, what was it? 2 seconds? Not even. I mean, it probably was just a really when they say split second, it really was, because between the moment when you started to go down the hill, there was like halfway down, I thought, what have I done? I asked you, and I mean, to your, like, it's like I'm never, like, I would never blame you for actually doing it, but I was like, I think of myself, and even Dan, even that scene when Dan was in the dirt pile. You know, I shouldn't have had him doing some of those stunts. But I think there was, when you make movies, there's this energy of like, yeah, we got to do it. I don't care.
You are so pumped
and
up.
there's like a loaded gun or something, or there's a, you've seen the videos online. Everyone driving around in cars, like doing car chases. Like, yeah, we're doing a car chase, and then someone flies, like Jackass, the movie.
Yeah, and quite honestly, you'll probably never have that same sense of urgency with video that you would have with film when we did film with the trailer.
Right. Right.
It's expensive. People are flown up from California and Los Angeles.
John Millman came up from
Florida, and you have to get done within 5 or 6 days, and then return the equipment. Otherwise, you can charge more money. And so there is that sense of almost panic.
Right.
Get it done. Get it. Go.
And I think there's also an energy that happens when you're in the movie, when you're trying to make a movie, you're excited about it. It's almost like, people say safety first, but there are times when you really throw safety out the window, and that's not good.
And to your credit, you were very careful after that. You're like,
oh my God,
I'd rather you not do that. I remember you changed your attitude completely. Like, I was like, that's not a big deal. Whatever, just get it done.
I was
you went to the pendulum swung in the other direction.
For a year after that, more than that, I would lay awake at night. There were times, and I just thought, what if? Thankfully that you didn't. You really, in the big picture, you walked away unscathed. I mean, you had a serious bruise for about 3 months. How long did that stick around?
I don't know, maybe a couple months.
That was just. I was
mortified. Well, yeah, maybe it was longer.
I think you were still limping. I mean, you had, and your parents came down, like they wanted to know what was going on. Remember, they showed up in the shoot.
Oh yeah.
Because we were shooting at the Spartan Hotel with Eddie and Shelley in the alley, and they came down just to see what's going on. You were limping around. Yeah. I don't know if you remember that, but anyway.
Hey, life is just a haphazard chance, anyways. The fact that I'm even here in the first place, so that was the end of it.
I know.
Then that was the end of it.
But still, would have been. How would you feel if just saying if you were directing something and something happened? It could have been anything. Someone on a bike or in a car.
Or death.
And they die. I mean, that's got to make you feel just awful. People
use it right into the script.
You couldn't. If you never got out of that.
If I did die, would you have continued to make the movie?
God, I don't know. I would have. Think about it, Matt. If you had died, your parents would have completely gone through the roof, flipped out. God, I mean, it would have been it would have been terrible.
God, yeah.
Everything. It would have been. It would have been in the papers. It would have been like. I mean, that accident never ended up in the papers at all. But if you had died, it was like filmmaker. Actor dies shooting low-budget independent movie in Dover.
Riding down an adult-sized tricycle down a hill.
And then I would have been held... there was no insurance. We didn't have insurance policy. I would have been liable because it was my production. There was nothing contractual. I mean, think about... let's get morbid here. Think about your funeral. Think about the idea of you...
In a hood, in a casket.
Oh, Seamus. I just ask you. You look up. Bury me in the hood. Oh, that's just frightening. Well, that's why I included it on the DVD because, the pitfalls, the production snafus. You don't get a location. You got to find another one. Yeah, those are all. Those are all things you can walk away with and go, okay, well, we got to find a new location, we got to find a new apartment, I got to find a new car. But an actor, nearly dies. And
lesson to be learned. Learn from my mistake. Be safe.
Don't listen to the director. That's
don't listen to anybody in life except yourself, your own sense of rational judgment.
Yeah. And if you have to go down a hill on a bike without brakes, put your foot on the tire.
Exactly.